Hey, welcome back, people. It's Ignister Ian, and today we're taking a look at the deck profile for the deck that I demoed for you guys yesterday. We're taking a look at fully powered Code Talkers. I took some time to listen to other content creators and kind of just watch how other Cyberse decks work, and I made some really good edits, I think, to this. And I think you guys will really be proud of what I put together for you guys, because I'm really proud of what I put together for you guys. So, without any more rambling, without any more anticipation, any more hype built around it, let's go ahead and show you guys the Code Talker deck that I put together for you.
Alright guys, so finally, let's go ahead and tear into the new version of Code Talkers that I'm really excited to show you. As you guys probably noticed from the top of the stack, we're starting off with 3C Archiver. It's a great extender for this deck. If it's in our hand or in our graveyard, if we link summon a monster to his own, a link monster points to, gives us a free body on board. You can only use it once per turn and it gets banished whenever you use the effect. But, like I said, nonetheless, a great extender. Backup Secretary is always going to be great at 3 in this deck because you can special summon it for free once per turn if you do have a Cyberse monster on the field. 3 Parallel Exceed, of course, not only for Exceed summoning. I've noticed now since I've made these edits, I do use it for link summoning whenever I can't go into my Exceed summoning, but with Devotee now being in this deck, Exceed summoning is not restricted by Devotee's effect, so Parallel Exceed is going to be good for a while in here. Moving on to our 2 ofs, we are running 2 Widget Kid just to give us a little bit extra body on board. If we start Widget Kid and anything else, we can combo off pretty easily. 2 Flame Buffalo, and usually Widget Kid, it's usually Widget Kid and Flame Buffalo, or I use Cyber Synchron and combo off that way, but Flame Buffalo with Widget Kid is just a great combo and a great extension. Couple more 2 ofs. We're doing Clock Wyvern still. Clock Wyvern, because we do run the Cyberse Dragons in here, and it does help to go into our Fusion Summon, but it does generate tokens, which helps us extend even further. And then Lady Debug, great card to have in this deck, I've noticed, and it's great whenever you can special summon her off of Widget Kid's effect, because you get 2 bodies on board, and you get Lady Debug's effect to probably grab like a Backup Secretary or something along the lines of that. Moving on to our code monsters in our main deck, we are running 2 Code Generator. If a Cyberse monster you control be used for a link material for a Code Talker monster, and this card in your hand can also be used as material. If this card is sent from your hand or field to the graveyard as material for a link summon of a Code Talker monster, you can send 1 Cyberse monster with 1200 or less attack from your deck to your graveyard, or if this card is on the field, you can add that card to your hand instead. You can only use 1 effect of Code Generator once per turn. Just a great extender. They usually throw Dotscaper in there or a C Archiver just to help us extend. We also run Microcoder in here. If a Cyberse monster you control be used for the link summon of a Code Talker monster, this card in your hand can also be used as material. If this card is sent from the field or graveyard as material for the link summon of a Code Talker monster, you can either add 1 Signet spell or a trap from your deck to your hand, or if this card is on the field you can use for a material, you can add a level 4 Cyberse monster for instead. You can only use each effect of Microcoder once per turn. And then we also, of course, have Code Radiator, a beautiful secret rare. Same effects as Code Generator and Microcoder, so I'm not going to read it again. But this card's unique effect is that you can target a monster your opponent controls and change its attack to 0, also negate its effects. If this card is on the field and uses material, you can target up to 2 monsters instead of 1. So just great to kind of get things lowered and get things out of the way so we can go ahead and swing big. And now for a couple of 1-ofs just to finish off our monster lineup. We are running a Cyber Synchron because we do run Quantum Dragon, and its doubling effect makes things easier to be able to sync or summon things. And we also run 1 Dotscaper, still just 1 Dotscaper. I know I see a lot of people run multiple, but I only need 1, I feel like, because usually we can end up OTKing, or 1 Dotscaper is the only thing needed because you can only use the effect once per duel. So I'm going to stick with the 1 Dotscaper. And then another extender that's great I found in testing, even going forward, is Degrade Buster. It can't be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from our hand by banishing 2 Cyberse monsters from our graveyard. Then we can target 1 monster our opponent controls with higher attack than this card. Quick effect, banish it until the end phase. So it helps get things out of the way, and it's another extender, it's another body on board, and it's a 25k beat stick. So I don't see any problem with running it. Just 1. And finally, our 1 ritual monster for Dark Fluid, we are running a Paladin of Storm Dragon. It's basically like a better Grand Mole for Cyberse decks. But I find it's a lot easier to go into Paladin than it is to go into Cyberse Magician. But I do have Cyberse Magician over here in sideboard, and just in case I am dealing with a link deck, it is kind of necessary. But that does it for the monsters. Moving on to our spells and traps, of course we are playing a Cyberse deck, so we are running Signet Mining just to give us a little bit of extra play. We throw Dotscaper, we throw Sea Archiver, we still get its effects based off of that. We get an extra body on board, and we get an extra card in hand. So Signet Mining is always great in Cyberse decks. I'm still running 2 Signet Storm because I do find it helps so much, especially whenever you get your board cleared and your opponent starts swinging damage. Once per chain, you get to go ahead and shuffle your cards in your extra deck, draw one, and if it's a Cyberse Link monster, you can go ahead and special summon it. And it just gives us a little bit extra protection. So Signet Storm stays in. It works out for now. I don't have Terraforming to search it out, so I don't rely on it super often, but Signet Storm's still good in here. And then we're running a couple of one-ofs for our Cyberse cards. We're running a Signet Codec in here. If a Code Talker monster is special summoned from the extra deck to my field, except during the damage step, I can target one of those monsters and add a Cyberse monster with the same attribute from our deck to our hand. But we cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this tournament, except for Cyberse monsters. Even if this card leaves the field, you cannot add any other monsters with that same attribute to your hand with this effect of Cyberse Codec this turn. You can only activate the effect of Signet Codec once per chain. Once per chain effects are really cool, and I'm starting to really get into them. We're also running 1 Signet Fusion, of course, for our fusion support, and 1 Signet Ritual, of course, to get out our Paladin whenever we do go into Paladin. And it's just dark fluid fuel, so I don't see why not. A couple of just extra support cards in here. We are running 2 Twin Twisters because we do like to discard cards. Things do like to be in graveyard, so it does make sense to run Twisters instead of Cosmic Cyclone. At least that I found in testing. I might switch it over later, but for now I'm running 2 Twin Twisters. We're also running a Monster Reborn because bodies on board never hurt in this deck. And then we are also running a 1-for-1 just to make things a little bit easier to get out Dotscaper and keep that combo going. And now to finish off our main deck, we are still running a 40-card main deck, so we are only running 2 traps at the very end. Mirror Force, because nobody expects it anymore. It's always storming. Mirror Force just works. It gets rid of things. It might trigger a few effects, but still clears board most times. And Limit Code, just because I found it also surprises people. The fact that I can activate this and then get a free Link monster out. It works out pretty well. But that does it for the main deck. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards up for main deck and show you the extra deck. Alright guys, so for the extra deck, I'm going to go ahead and show you like Link 1s and going up higher and etc. Starting off with our Link Disciple and Link Devotee. Of course, this is a great combo and it just helps us get extra bodies on board. We go Link Disciple first most times. I'll show you guys in a test hand, but you do go further. But then we go into Link Devotee, pop Devotee, and get more effects off. Just a great combo. It's well known in Cyber stuff in general, but it works out. One more Link 1 that I run in this deck is Talkback Lancer. Talkback Lancer, it's 1 level 2 or lower Cyberse monster. You contribute 1 other Cyberse monster and then target 1 Code Talker monster in your graveyard with a different original name than that monster. Special summon it to your zone this card points to. You can only use this effect of Talkback Lancer once per turn. It's basically access code recovery. And it works out pretty well, I've noticed. But moving on to our Link 2s, we are running a Splash Mage, we are running a Code Talker Inverted. Code Talker Inverted is new to this deck. 2 Cyberse monsters. If this card is Link Summon, you can special summon 1 Cyberse monster from your hand to the zone this card points to. You can only use this effective Code Talker Inverted once per turn. It's a main part of my combo whenever I actually have an extra monster in hand that I want to put on board. It still works out, and it's an extra attribute for Access Code Talker to be able to pop on the following turn. But yeah, it works, and I finally added IP Masquerena to this deck. Everybody knows what IP does, but I'm just really excited about the Prismatic Secret Rare. It's really nice. Moving on to Update Jammer, and our final Link 2. Everybody knows Update Jammer. It's very well used. Not going to explain it. Moving on to our Code Talker monsters, other than Code Talker Inverted, our Link 3 Code Talker monsters. We have X-Code Talker still remaining, we have D-Code Talker remaining, and we have Transcode Talker remaining. Yes, I still have Access Code in here, but these are my Link 3s that stayed in the deck. We have removed our Encode Talker, our Shooting Code Talker, and our Powered Code Talker. They just did not get as much play as these 3 boys did. But X-Code Talker does help us get a little bit of extra protection for our access code, as well as limit our opponent's board. D-Code Talker gives us a little bit more protection, and Transcode Talker is a combo extender. Nothing further needed to say. And of course, our Link 4 big boy Access Code Talker. Nobody needs to know what Access Code Talker does. It's been around for a while. I've ran into plenty of Access Code Talker haters. To finish off our extra deck, though, we are running the 4 Cyberse Dragons. We are running our Firewall XE Dragon, which also helps us get back our Access Code Talker, and eventually, our Firewall Dragon, which is coming back very, very soon. We also have our Cyber's Clock Dragon and Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid. I've been talking about Dark Fluid the whole video. But yeah, I built this deck purely to go access code and then go ham with everything else. But if you guys give me just a second to clean up, shuffle up, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a test hand. Alright guys, so time for the truth. It is the next day. I was editing the video and I realized that I misplayed in the first test hand that I did. I've played the deck a million times on EDO Pro. You'd think I'd be able to figure it out here when I'm sitting here trying to make a video for you guys, but apparently not. Apparently my brain goes smoosh. But whatever, let's correct this mistake and show you guys a test hand for Code Talkers. Finish up this shuffle. Oh, I love these new sleeves on here, they're so nice. And we get a 1, and we get a 2, and we get a 3, and we get a 4, and we get a 5. Alright, let's see what the Cards of Destiny have for us today. A Cyber Synchron, a 1-for-1, a Dotscaper, a Backup Secretary, and a Clock Wyvern. Okay, we can work with this. This isn't that bad. Because we're going to go and do this in a little unorthodox manner. We're going to play our 1-for-1, and we're going to send Dotscaper from our hand to our graveyard, and special summon one level 1 monster from our deck. And we are going to pick our Microcoder. And we're going to shuffle up. Okay. Good. 1-for-1's effect resolves, Dotscaper effect goes off, and we special summon our Dotscaper. And then we're going to link off with our Dotscaper. Bye, Dotscaper. For our Link Disciple, we're going to go Microcoder, link off for our Devotee. Disciple's effect is going to pop our Devotee to draw a 1 card and place 1 at the bottom of our deck, and we're going to put Cyber Synchron at the bottom of our deck. Devotee's effect goes off, give us our Phantasm token and our other Phantasm token. They're supposed to be Cyber Synchrons, but you get it. Sea Archiver's effect goes off, special summoning it, because we special summon next to Disciple's Link. I missed the trigger before, so that's why we're doing it now. We're going to Link Summon for 2 and get back out our Splash Mage. Splash Mage is not going to use its effect yet because we're going to Link Summon for 2 once more and go into our Code Talker Inverted. Code Talker Inverted's effect is going to activate and special summon our Clock Wyvern from our hand, giving us a new token. Now Splash Mage effect is going to go off, and we're going to get our Sea Archiver. Gucci. And then we're going to Link Summon for 2 and get out our IP Masquerena. And that's where we'll pass turn. We have Sea Archiver sitting over here just as an extra little 2100 defender, just kind of sitting here just in case things go hog wild. You never know. But on our opponent's turn, when our opponent starts activating effects, we're going to go IP Masquerena and Splash Mage to go for our access code. Access code is going to target Splash Mage for its effect, giving it 2,000 more attack points. In our graveyard, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have a 5th one and a 6th one, and counting our access code to be able to pop cards. Also, access code is protected if I didn't already say that. Whenever we get back over to our turn, we do our draw, and we get our Signet Mining. At that point, there are a few things we can do. Trying to think of what order I want to do it, because I want to show you just a little bit more extension for the deck. We can play Signet, throw our Backup Secretary, and grab a Debug. Shuffle, shuffle. Actually, I thought of something different. That's something a little bit better. Instead of Debug, we're going to add Generator. I know, ref, judge. Oh, shut up. This is my video. And then we're going to link summon with Code Talker Inverted and Code Generator. Get out our Transcode Talker. Code Generator's effect goes off, giving us a monster to our hand, and we're going to take... I'll take a backup secretary. We'll put backup secretary back in our hand. Whatever. Transcode Talker's effect is going to go off and give us our Code Talker Inverted back. Right next to its link, we're going to link summon for 3 and go into our Xcode. I can't go Xcode there. Xcode goes here. Blocking off one of our opponent's zones, we could start going ham with our access Code Talker with our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if we can't access code. 8 pops. So I'm pretty sure we can clear any board that our opponent wants to throw at us, and yeah. I think enough said at this point. I think I'm just rambling on trying to see what kind of extensions I can do with this deck at this point. But over to the outro.
Alright guys, so that's where I'm going to go ahead and leave the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the new Code Talker deck. I'm really happy about it. It's performing really well on Twitch. If you want to come check it out on Twitch, don't forget to follow me on Twitch. But if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I upload new videos. Follow me on social media, especially on Twitch. All the links will be down in the description. Have a good day, everyone. I'll see you next time. Peace out.